Well, 3 people are in the hospital tonight after a brutal fight on the west side. It started when 4 men met up at a home in the Molina neighborhood to exchange some items. Now police are investigating what led up to it. Our Madeline Dart joins us with more in tonight's top story.
Michelle, police are calling it an aggravated robbery after 2 of the men were stabbed and another badly beaten. Officials say the argument broke out Sunday evening. The homeowner's brother was allegedly assaulted during the brawl, and the 2 visitors were stabbed. All 3 of them were then transported to a local hospital.
During our investigation, we learned that we had some victims come over here to purchase some items that they saw on one of the social sites. When they were here trying to purchase that item, they were jumped by multiple subjects from inside. A fight ensued and multiple subjects were assaulted.
After investigation, the homeowner was arrested. His charges at this time are unknown. And officials say none of the injuries were life-threatening, and at this time, details on the exchange are unknown. Michelle?
All right, thanks a lot, Maddie. Well,